Hello, welcome to my channel. In this video, we are going to talk about switch case, and if-else blocks from Simulink. We have considered a very simple problem, which is about the gear status display on the UI. Consider one's bike or scooty, which has a low speed range between 0 to 50, and we want to display current gear on the UI or the dashboard of the bike. If my speed is 0, gear 0, you are on a neutral gear. If speed is less than 10, then you are on the first gear. If speed is less than 30, you are in the second gear. Till 50, then you are on the third gear. Okay. To display this, first we can try to use switch. In a switch, you can see if you double click on the switch, and you will see only one criteria we can pass. If my U2, which is the input, is greater than threshold, and threshold here is 0, which can be changed to any other value. We can also change some other condition. U2 is greater than, also equal to threshold, or U2 is strictly greater than threshold, or there's one more condition, U2 is equal to or not equal to 0. So if not equal to 0, then if will pass. If equal to 0, then else will pass. Okay. To solve this particular problem, how we are going to use the switch, let's put some switch. I need first switch which will be checking above 30. Then I will need another switch which will be checking speed above 10, and I will also need one more switch which will be checking my speed above 0, and I have to pass one speed input. So I will say my constant, this is my speed, so I'll call this as speed, and I will pass this to here, here, and also here. If the speed is above 30, I have to set gear 3, so I will use one more constant as gear 3, so this will be my third gear. Speed is above 10, then gear 2. If speed is above 0, then gear 1. Otherwise, at the bottom I am on the neutral side. So what we have done, we have taken speed from the wheel speed sensor, then our one module which is calculating the gear, and third, there should be one third module where we will be sending this gear value, and accordingly we will display some message. So this is how the switch can be used. Now the limitation with the switch, we can only have the if and else, so we cannot have multiple if else if statements. So that's why you have to utilize more than one switches to make it happen. So once we have done this, we can quickly display this value, whether I'm getting the right gear position or not. So if my speed is above 30, which is 35, I should get gear 3 here. I'm getting gear 3. Now once this is done, I want to send this gear calculated from one of the module to another module, which is for the UI display text. So I will send this to UI module where we will be using cases. So I will be using switch case here. So just create one case. Here I will be sending my value. I need this case only because this block, particular switch case block, can only accept the enumerations, so case value. So case condition is something 1, 2, 3, such number only it can accept. It cannot accept the expressions. So I will give 3, 2, and 1. Okay, 1 I already have, so 1. And I also want a default, so default will be my 0, so which will be for the neutral gear. Okay, once this is done, I will just set this, and now case 3 is set, case 2 and case 1 and default. Now these are the triggers. At a time only one flag will get true, either this one will get true, or this one, or this one, or this one. So these are the trigger which will trigger to some other subsystem. Those are called as a if action subsystem. So we will add action So this is my one of the action. So it will go over here, trigger based on the case 3. Similarly, I can add these three, so case 2, case 1 and case 0. So if you go inside any of this, it will say action because of case 3. Now any logic I want to add more, so UI related logic where maybe I'm creating one variable and writing some text for it will be now inserted over here. So whenever I will get speed above 35, above 30, this case will get triggered and only this will get executed. The rest will not perform any action. Okay, so this is how we can use the switch and combine with the switch case to make this problem statement solve. But I don't want to go with this complexity. What I'm doing over here, I'm adding three switches, then adding one switch case also. Instead of that, I can combine this expressions and this action in together in one shot using the if else statement, if else block. So what I will do now, I will add if. So this is the if, consider this is the another design, so let's put it on this side and send the speed directly to this. And the condition that I have added over here can be directly put over here. So I have the number of input 1, speed 1. If at all there will be another input, so which could be acceleration or mass, some other, for example. So I can just change the number of inputs to 2 and anything else. Then if expression will be default over here, u1 is greater than 0, which I want particularly u1 should be greater than 30. And I have to add more expressions, so those should be my else if expression, which are shown like this in a format here written as the u2 and u3, but we have to give the one because our input is only one value. So u1 should be greater than 10 and u1 should be greater than 0. If u1 will be equal to 0, then show else condition. So this is how I have created. Again, this is the if else kind of a block, so which will have the action subsystem to execute. I have to again add some action subsystem, so I will say action. So this is my first action, so I will add it over here. Similar, I will create again. These are the boolean trigger coming from the condition which is checked over here, and this should be one at a time true. And there is one more catch for this. These ports cannot be connected to other than any action subsystem. So I cannot connect to any other trigger subsystem, or I cannot display also this value. This can only get connected to this action subsystem, and that too only possible for one action subsystem. So for example, I'll show the compilation error. I will delete this one and I will say I just want to connect to display, and I will compile this. So there will be one error appearing which will say port 1 of untitled if 1 can only be connected to an action subsystem and may not be connected to more than one action subsystem. So this is the one error of the compilation, that we are trying to connect to the display. Another error we'll see that we want to connect to two different. So this is one action. I want to connect to this. Again, one more action I want to create. Action. Action. Okay. And then same input I want to pass it. And again compile. You should get same error. So you cannot connect to multiple. Okay. So hope you like this. So you have now clarity about the switch case, if action, and the action subsystem. Thank you so much for watching.